Here we go. Beautiful day for math. This is going to be lightning round, okay? Here, you can skip around and find the ones that you got wrong. So we have variable on both sides. So we're going to take out one of those full terms. I'm going to subtract 4x. Subtract 4x. Get 6x plus 9 equals negative 9. Now I'm going to get rid of this other term so I can isolate that variable. I've got to get rid of the plus 9 by subtracting 9. 6x equals negative 18. Then to get rid of multiplication, that coefficient there, I divide. Inverse operation to isolate the variable, and I get negative 3. Next. All right, variables on both sides, so I want to get rid of one of those variable terms. I like positive, so I'm going to add that 4x, add 4x, I get 12x minus 8 equals 16. Now I have my variable on one side. I want to get rid of the terms first by that constant term first by adding or subtracting. 12x equals 24. Divide by 12. Divide by 12. X equals 2. Again, variables on both sides. I want to get rid of one of those variable terms first. So I get 4x plus 5 equals negative 15. Some people like to do plus negative so they can keep track of that negative. All right, now I'm going to get rid of the constant term. Subtract 5, subtract 5. 4x equals negative 20. Divide by 4, divide by 4. X equals negative 5. All right, now this could be a little bit tricky. I use identity property to put a coefficient there. I have two variable terms, one on each side, so I want to get rid of one of those variable terms. I'm going to subtract 1f, subtract 1f. If you want to, you can use the definition of subtraction there. So you know that that's going to bring down negative 4. When I subtract, I get 5f plus 26. When I subtract 26 from both sides, subtract 26 from both sides, I get negative 30 equals 5f. Divide by the 5, divide by the 5. F equals negative 6. Variables on both sides again. All right, let's get after it. Ooh, okay, so we have, doesn't matter which one you get rid of, but if I add the 5k, I'll get a positive over here, which I just like getting. So negative 2 plus 5 is 3k minus 14. Now I'm going to add that 14 because once I get variables on both sides, then I'm looking to get rid of the constant. All right, I got 24 equals 3k, divided by 3, divided by 3, k equals 8. Moving on. Okay, now this is one that we had trouble with a little bit because some people tried to divide by negative 2. If I divide this by negative 2, I got to divide this whole thing by negative 2. All right, I can't just pick out a piece of that side to divide. So what I have to do first is distribute. In certain cases, it's better to distribute than to divide by that negative 2. All right, so I get 14y plus negative 2, or minus 2. If we distribute, bring everything down. Now we just have variables on both sides. So, whoops. So we have to get rid of one of those variable terms by addition or subtraction. 34 equals 9y plus negative 2. How do we get rid of the plus negative 2? We're going to add 2. Add 2. We get 36 equals 9y. So divide by 9, divide by 9. And y equals 4. Moving on, we're getting there. Here we go. Ooh, fraction time. Variables on both sides. So I got to get rid of one of these variable terms by subtracting that variable term, minus 3/5 x. I get negative 15 equals, 3/5 x plus 12. Now I have to get rid of this constant, minus 12, minus 12. That gets me negative 27 equals 3/5 x. When I have a fractional coefficient, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal there. It's 5/3 times 5/3. This equals 1. So by identity property, it's just going to be x, although I could put 1x. Put 1 over there, cross simplify. It goes in 9 times. Negative times a positive is a negative. And 5 times 9 is 45. So I get negative 45. And I got to pause here. And we're back. All right, we have no variables on either side, but we do have this parenthesis issue here. So we can do one of two things. We can distribute, or because it's kind of a single element over here, or a term over here, we can just divide by 3, and x minus 4 equals negative 1. Let's add that constant term, and we get 3. Now, if we wanted to distribute, we could get 3x minus 12 equals negative 3, and add the 12, we get 9 equals 3x, divided by 3, x equals 3 as well. Cruising. All right, we have just our regular two-step equation. We get rid of the constant term first, and then add it to the side, or subtract it from the side. Negative 4x, that gives us 20. Divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. X equals negative 5. All right, we have our constant term that we have to get rid of, that 19. Cancel it out. We can subtract 19. Subtract 19. A equals, that's going to give us negative 69. Moving right along. Subtract 1, negative 6x equals negative 12. Now we have a coefficient, so we're going to divide by negative 6, divide by negative 6. X equals 2. These are the quick ones. Oh my goodness, I can't even believe I put this one on here. Divide by 4. E equals 4. We have a fractional coefficient, so we could divide by negative 2/3, but instead, division is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, so we'll multiply by negative 3 over 2. Number times reciprocal is equals 1, so we get 1w, but by identity property, I can just write w. Cross simplify, and 30 times negative 3 is negative 90. Now, this one I was a little worried because we didn't do a ton of practice with the division under the x, but first we get rid of that term, that extra term there, x over 4 equals negative 8. And we're going to multiply by 4 because this is division. So multiply by 4. X equals negative 32. Now, here we have one where we have to simplify first before we solve. We have some like terms here. A lot of you like to do plus the negative. Use the definition of subtraction. And we have then those like terms, the constant terms. So we have 2x plus negative 5x, which gives us negative 3x. Some of you did this, like drew this line over here. Okay, and then we have our constant terms. It's negative 4 plus 2, which gets us plus negative 2. Now, since we're simplified, we're going to look to solve using that SAD mep. So get rid of extra terms through addition and subtraction. So we're going to add 2, negative 3x equals 21, divided by negative 3, divided by negative 3, x equals negative 7. And finally, we have variables on both sides. This one doesn't have a coefficient, so I use identity property and place a 1. Now I want to get one of these variable terms out of here, so I'm going to add 3x, add 3x. That cancels, I get 4x equals 12, divided by 3 divided by 4 divided by 4. X equals 3. There we have it.